Already. So the problem is, John, I've seen your comment. I see that the new studio has not improved punctuality. The issue is, I was trying to wait. Some lunatic, John, not you, obviously, because it's not using the same name as you. Some lunatic gifted 50 before the stream even started. And to not fuck up all my numbers, I was trying to wait till that finished before I went live so that I don't have to do shitty maths all night. Thank you, Toilet Dice, for the 50 gifted. You'd think it was a sad night, chat, because I went to the fridge for mead. It wasn't in the fridge. I'd forgot to put it in the fridge. So this is warm. But nothing will quite dampen my spirits today, to be honest with you. Or, apart from not being able to open the bottle, maybe. Nothing will be able to dampen my spirits today. Because today, this morning at 10:30, I spent an hour and a half doing a handover. And I am now in possession of keys for our brand new official channel studio. Today is the birthday. The Great Hall is born. Now, currently, it doesn't look much like a Great Hall. Currently, it looks like a big office. A big fucking office. 1,350 square feet of office, actually. In fact, in terms of offices, it looks a little bit like this. This is the inside of the new Great Hall right now, as it stands, apart from I've shut all the doors because leaving the doors open annoys me. But this is what it looks like right now. And the angle that you're looking from is roughly where I'm hoping to have my gaming table. And between these pillars over in this corner is roughly where I'm planning to have my sit and talk area. And then over here is roughly where I'm going to wall off an area because I don't want the rain on those windows to be annoying the sound and start storing things. This is ours as of today. As of today, I have the keys and this is ours. I've been in there this morning. Like I said, done the handover, been shown all the alarms, all that kind of stuff. Everything's turned on. All the air conditioning's tested and working. The water's all working. The toilet's all working. This is ours. And honestly, there was a little bit of an emotional moment earlier. I was kind of stood in there after I'd taken the keys off of her. And I showed Luce round. And I was a little bit like, I don't really know what to say. I guess there was a part of me, genuinely, honestly, that didn't actually think we'd ever get there. And that we'd probably be making content out of my garage forevermore. And that would be it. So today is a day to celebrate. The 27th of September is going to be a day that goes in my calendar now as actually the birthday of the studio. And maybe we should probably do the first stream in there, but I feel like today is the more important day today. Like I said, genuinely, even sat here now, a little bit emotional right now because didn't think we were ever going to get there. Also a little bit emotional because I've spent the rest of the day shopping for buying lights, lighting rigs, etc. to go in that studio. It's expensive. In a time where cost of living is a problem for everybody and they can't afford to super chat and gift memberships, and a time where revenue on 40k channels is down in general, it's a bit expensive. We're going to make it work.
Let's go. Well done, well deserved. Also belated birthday to me as it was yesterday and I couldn't put it in the super chat.
Oh, well, Craig, happy birthday, man. You should have just told me in chat. I'd have read it out anyway. You're a legend. Happy birthday to Craig for yesterday. Who, if you didn't watch yesterday, did an amazing job this weekend, raising over £6,000 for charity. I think it was 6 or 4,000. I think it was £6,000 for charity, for mental health charity, doing 40 hours of 40k. What a legend. So yeah, like I could sit like I've spoken about this a bit, right? I'm actually talking about this quite a lot. There's a couple of reasons. One, 40k's fuck. No one wants to talk about it, so let's talk about something positive, interesting, and exciting. We're going to make so much content that doesn't just rely on the current state of 40k. It just relies on the hobby in general. We're going to enjoy it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to celebrate it. We're going to celebrate the community. We're going to celebrate you people. That's the plans. What we're doing when we go in there. It's going to be amazing. And honestly, over the course of the last maybe 4 to 6 weeks, there's a number of points where I nearly pulled out of this because revenue's down, views are down, all that kind of stuff's down right now. Because I think people are just kind of down on 40k right now. But fuck it. If we don't take this step now, we never will. It's terrifying. We absolutely cannot afford at the moment to kit out all of the sets that I want to kit out. We can't afford to kit out probably more than one set that I want to kit out. If I give you some context, Titans, for example, on their main streaming area have 12 lights. I nearly bought 8 today. Would have been £1,500. I've dropped it down to 6 because I don't really want to spend £1,500 on lighting. But we need, like, the lighting that I've got in the garage is just not going to be good enough for the big space in the studio. But what we're going to hopefully do, what we're hopefully going to create, what we're hopefully going to be able to bring to you people with more space, more room, is just better content, more engaging content, more variety of content. I'm exhausted, you can probably tell. I'm tired, I'm stressed, but I'm so fucking excited for this. Like, I cannot explain how excited we are. And like I said, I was stood there for a brief moment today. Genuinely just a little bit emotional. Like, I've got my own commercial property. What the fuck is going on? What? Yeah. Soups are like £179 a light, my friend. Filming and studio equipment is not cheap. And you can buy it cheap. When you go on Amazon later and go, Liam's lying, look, you can buy it for £20. There's a reason why those things are £20, you know. To get decent equipment, it's going to last us. It's going to be expensive. Getting this right is going to be... I don't want to be... Like, we've joked about this, but I mean this sincerely. The reason why we're able to do this, the reason why we've got to a place to be able to do this is because of incredible people like you. Incredible people like Toilet Dice gifting 50, Drop Dead Dave gifting 10 more, Schooner gifting 10 more, you legends, you absolute heroes. Because of people like you, we can, in fact, look at commercial space. I have recently brought Eddie on board, as you can probably tell, with the shorts that are going. He's not on board full-time. I'd like to bring him on board full-time, honestly, but I can't afford to do that in the studio as well. So we can do this because of you amazing people. So I currently, genuinely, feel a lot of pressure. Not bad pressure, but I feel a lot of pressure. And I feel pressure from you. And you're all going to tell me don't feel pressure. But I feel a lot of pressure from you guys. You're the reason we can do this. 100% the reason we can do this. So I need to turn this into something good and special to pay you back and give you back the content that you deserve for watching the channel, for liking the streams, for hitting the subscribe button, for gifting memberships, for super chatting. Like, this is on us now to pay you back for the faith you've shown in us. I don't know many 26,000 subscriber channels on YouTube in general who are actually able to go into their own personal studio space and make this something and make this a reality and actually do this. Like I don't know, like, most people that end up in studios are 100k plus people, right? Let's be honest. And a lot of people, some people that are even 100k plus are still doing things in bedrooms, you know, and stuff like that. So I couldn't be here without you lot. I've said this so many times before, but this is a very prominent, a very poignant day to bring this up. I can't be here without you lot. So I owe it to you to do something special with this place. I've got internet people in doing a survey tomorrow. I've got fitment booked for Monday the 9th of internet speeds. I've got a designer coming in on Tuesday to work with me on hopefully designing the decor so we can make it look like the Great Hall. I'm so pumped. John McArdle, thank you so much for the gifted 20, man. You absolute fucking legend. I love you very dearly. You're all amazing people. I have put a very dirty goal up there tonight. Like I was comfortable when I started shopping lights and making a custom table, etc. But it's going to be worth it. And there's a lot of people. So there's a lot of people, right? That, you know, that have said to me, let's be clear. There's a lot of people that have offered me many ways of cutting many corners. Some of which will probably do because it just kind of makes sense to. It doesn't really impact the quality we're putting out. It doesn't really impact the kind of image, the vision that we're trying to push out to the camera. And so some of them we're almost definitely going to do. But as I said to Joe yesterday, I had a conversation with Joe about this yesterday, sat here. This is now my office space. I want to make this special, not just for you guys, but I want to make this special for me. I want to do things properly. And I want to go live the first time in that studio and be genuinely incredibly proud of the quality of content that we're putting out for you.
For the Insane Lighting Fund. Mr. Dave's right. A little pressure is good, as long as it's just enough to squeeze a cheeky fart out.
A little pressure is good. Warm mead. Oh, I mean, it is good, right? Cornet Ed, remember everyone laughed at Ragnar for wanting to sail west. The edge of the world awaited, but these absolute heroes did it anyway. Keep sailing west, bro. Thank you, man. You're a hero. What a legend. From Australia, been watching for over a year. First time able to catch it live. Really excited for the new studio space. Thank you very much, King H. You're a legend. Thank you so much, Carl of Hodgie, for the poo. Of course. Can't forget that. And Barthol, thank you for the 5. Quality Wednesday viewing as ever. Yeah, feet pics does not count as cutting corners, but it's instead of cutting edge content. I want to be very clear, by the way. This isn't me going, hey, I've got a new studio. It's a pity party. Spend money. That's not the point. This is genuinely some of the most excited I've ever felt. By a very long way, this is some of the most excited I've ever felt. I'm energized. I'm interested. I can't wait to get going. I'm struggling. Words struggle to. I can't say thank you enough to you guys as a community. It's been a hell of a journey to get here. I'm sure if you've been following from the early days, as I know some of you have, or even over the last 2 years, you'll know it's been a bit of up and down, a bit of all over the place. There's been lots of positives. There's been a couple of negatives. There's been a couple of low points. There's been a couple of hard points. This year, at the beginning of the year, it's quite touch and go. There was a strong possibility at one point I was going to jack it all in and go back to work. That was in March this year, that was a very real possibility. It was a very real possibility of me going, I give up. I'm just going to go back to work. It's just easier to let someone else worry about this stuff, and I'm going to go and do a real job. That was actually on the cards. I was job hunting. That was a thing. I've not spoken to a lot of people about this in detail. I'm not going to go into great amounts of detail now. I mean, Eddie's in chat. He knows about it. Joe knows about it. Luce obviously knows about it. That was an actual thing. It was a real thing for a moment. If it wasn't for the fact that I absolutely... Oh, hang on.
Pressure makes diamonds or something like that. Congrats on the studio again. You are the man and have the best team.
I mean, the last part of that drop there, Dave, is more important than me being the man. I have the best team, you know, and this is the thing. It got to a point when I was sat there thinking I might just go back to work. I was like, well, there's 3 things here, okay? I have a job that actually I really fucking enjoy on the whole. I have a community of people that are just incredible, and I don't actually want to let you guys down ever at all. And I have a team of amazing people who have thrown so much of their free time, blood, sweat and tears into this that I also don't want to let them down either. And those 3 things, I sat there and I mulled it over and I was like, no, I'm not prepared. I'm not ready, actually, was the words, to give up on this just yet. And so now here we are. If you'd have said to me in March that by the end of the year you'd have your own studio space, and I'm hoping, by the way, that we will be streaming in there in November. When in November, I don't know. I'm hoping near the beginning of November, but I'm hoping we'll be streaming out of this space in November. And if you'd have told me in March, with what went on in that particular month, that by the end of the year you'll be in your own studio and you'll be with Joe and Eddie, who essentially are employed, and you'll be making content for people out of your own professional space in your own filming studio, and you'll be able to, at the end of the night, turn the lights off, lock the door, put the alarm on and go home, I would have told you categorically to fuck off. That would have been it. Like, absolutely, that would have been it. I'd have been like, not a chance. I thought we were years away from this. And you know what? If we're honest, we probably logically should have been another 6 to 12 months away from this. We've taken a leap early here. It's a leap of faith. And I really, 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 really hope that you guys enjoy it enough to want to continue to super chat, to gift memberships and all that kind of stuff, and watch the content and like the content and all that sort of good stuff that we ask you to do all the time. Because that would be absolutely incredible. That means we'll be able to keep going. I'm tied into this now. I'm personally tied into this now. So if this goes wrong, it doesn't just bankrupt the channel, it bankrupts me, quite literally. So I'm here to make this work. Hopefully you're here for it. Hopefully you're here to support it. Hopefully you're here to enjoy it, most importantly. But this is a cheers and a thank you. And I'm trying not to be too emotional on stream, but a genuine thank you. What an amazing place for us to be already. 27th of September, put it in your calendar, chat. It's our birthday. It's the birthday of the Great Hall, genuine, like physical. This is where we're going to start building this place up and hopefully make it something special. Cheers. People are saying, show me the key. The worst part about this is I put the keys on my actual key fob. I've got a fancy key fob thingy. If you really want to know, this one right here is the key to the studio. And this little dangly thing here is the alarm fob. So this is my studio key. Okay. That's my studio key. On my little, it's on my own keys now already because I'm just so happy. I'm just so fucking excited. Yeah, you guys are incredible. So thank you. Anyway, Logan Kane, thank you for the 10. Congratulations on the monumentous occasion. Well deserved. Thank you, man. I don't see that's the bit I actually struggle with. I suffer quite frequently with imposter syndrome in this space. Especially again, I reiterate, channel size, subscriber base at least, which I know, and I'm aware that subscriber numbers are a vanity metric on the whole. Oh, hang on.
Well done. Can't wait for the new
Thanks,
studio.
Sven. Love you. I'm aware that subscriber numbers are a vanity metric, but let's be honest. People often use subscriber numbers as the thing that they judge a channel on in terms of size. To have what we have, to be going into what we're going into, at the size that we're at, doesn't necessarily help the imposter syndrome, to be fair. In fact, it makes it slightly worse. Like, how do we get to have this? But we are going to make the best of this. I can't wait. Like, I'm so fucking excited for this. And I think we can do some magical stuff in there as well. I'm really excited for where we get to. So I will not stop.
Congratulations on the studio. Can't wait to see what the future holds for you and yours.
Thanks for what you came out at the goal. If I'm honest with you people, the goal, and I don't know whether this is too much. Like I'm actually interested in some some proper feedback here. I'd like to be able to release a piece of content every day of the week, whether that be a stream or a pre-recorded video. I would honestly like to release a piece of content every single day of the week, and that doesn't include, to be clear, that does not include shorts. So I'd like to get to a point. We currently stream Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, which means I would have to make enough content to give you a pre-recorded video at the very least, if not another stream, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So that's not what we're going to try and do from the off. We need to build up to this. We need to roadmap the end goal and work out how we get there. But what I'd like to do for you amazing people is give you some content to consume every single day of the week and get that going and make that frequent and make that regular and have that set. And if we were to ever get there, the next stage would be 2 pieces of content a day. Right? And I'm genuinely serious when I talk about borderline a TV network. I'm genuinely serious about this. If you could have a choice daily between 2 or 3 pieces of content, then, you know, that's a good place to be. We couldn't ever do this without the studio. I absolutely wouldn't be able to do this if I don't take on more staff in the future. This isn't something that I think me, Joe, and Eddie can do on our own. We can get to, I think, just between the 3 of us, we can get to 6 days a week comfortably. Honestly, I think we can do that comfortably. But to do more, I'd need more staff because, Ed's just said it already, work-life balance is incredibly important to us. And I've been in a place, historically, before I actually took the leap, I've been in a place my work-life balance was well off and people were not getting the best of me because people were not getting the best of me because I was too incredibly tired. I was fucked. I was absolutely knackered. I was working stupid hours. People weren't getting the best of me. I don't want to go back there ever. But look where we are now. I'm very excited. And I'm going to show you something that some people have seen before. Some people won't have seen before. But I'm going to show it to you anyway. Because it's important. This is important to me. This is something that I hate showing. I genuinely hate showing people. Don't like showing people this at all. But how do I live without you? Let's go there. Let's go down to here. Let's go there. None of you know what I'm doing now, but I also know that Amy's going to talk to me in a minute. I also heard, there's another channel I was watching earlier, Fixate, he plays video games. And if you put loads of capital L's in the chat, it's fucking hilarious if she's reading it out. Well, it's a he on his channel. Maybe she won't do the same. Right. Right. So I need to mute this for just a minute. And I can bring... Oh, hang on. Right. If you know that noise, you'll know what's coming in a minute. So let's wait for Mr. John's chat to come through. Dane, thank you for the 5. Happy birthday, office. Happy birthday, office indeed, man. Thank you. Dave, thank you for the 2. My God, Beaker from Warhammer Street got a studio. Thanks, man. Why do I bother?
If you don't wake up with a little vomit in your mouth, you're not trying hard enough or you didn't drink enough. Something like that. You're awesome, congrats. Help this man out. Custodes.
Custodes. John McCarroll, thank you so much, man. You've been in, and I know you don't like being called out. I'm aware that I'm probably going to get told off by you for this. But over the course of the last 12 months especially, you've been an incredible supporter of the channel. And I think it's very fair to say that without certain people that exist, Drop Dead Dave, 40k Medic, Sven, the people that super chat so frequently, John, Mandy, Zena, etc., this wouldn't be possible. It just wouldn't be possible. Like, it's unbelievable. Now, I don't like showing this off, ever. Ever. In fact, this is currently unlisted on YouTube because I don't like the idea that people can see it. However, I am in fact going to keep it here forever for me to see because it's important to see where you come from. In the plus side, making pre-recorded videos, GarageHammer style, the editing won't need to be deliberately overdone and fake like most other channels. It won't, Escobar. It should be easier. It'll be nicer camera angles than holding a phone, but it will still be GarageHammer, have fun, enjoy yourselves, right? So I'm going to show you something now. I'm going to be very clear. I hate this. I hate this so much. If you'd have told this person in 2017 that they were going to have their own 1,300 square foot studio, 1,300 square foot studio, then they would have flat called you an absolute liar. Hello guys, welcome to Morehammer. My name's Liam. This is my brand new YouTube channel, specifically 40k. Nothing bad. Look at the quality. I don't do Age of Not even a microphone. The Rings. I don't really play any other gaming systems, so it's just 40k. I have created a... If you'd have told him, I'd have told you not a chance. What I'm going to treat you to now. You can have that pinned instead of the PayPal link. It's very important to know where you've come from. It's very important to know how far you've come. It's very important to know your improvements. It's very important to be critical of your past. But it's because of you. Hundreds, thousands of people will create YouTube channels every year. Every day, in fact. And most of them, the majority of them won't go anywhere. They just won't. Because it's very hard to get anywhere in YouTube in general. So the fact that we're doing this for you people is quite it's quite emotionally overwhelming at times. I'm just fucking excited for the future now, though. We've got this far. We went from an armchair whilst my child was asleep with a crappy camera and no microphone to this, and now to our own little empire. How many years ago was that? That video was...
Sold. Where do I sign up to be part of the team? Great goals, but remember, look after yourself first.
Oh, 100% I will, don't you worry. But this is also something I love, so please don't panic too much. Like, I absolutely adore doing this. Does it tell me the published date in the video details? I feel like it should tell me the published date in the video details. Where would I find said detail, however? Currently unlisted, look. Premiere, monetization, clip, subtitles, comments, editor, analytics. No, not analytics. If I change that to since uploaded, it will tell me that it went live on July the 23rd, maybe 2017. So July 2017. There you go. That's where. Stephen, thank you for the gifted. Zero Effect Craig, thank you for the gifted. You people are amazing. I will add that to our total. We are up to 92 of the finest gifted memberships. Nearly halfway there. 23rd of July. There you go. See. 23rd of July. That's when that was. It's 2017. Over 6 years ago. I watched more Hammer, but I don't remember. That was the first time, that was quite literally the first ever video that I put on this channel ever. Honestly, first ever video, and it was fucking rubbish. If you guys watch it, I've given up a PayPal link for the studio so you guys can watch this. If you guys watch it, it is unbelievable. It's so bad. So bad. But yeah, we started there. And this is why, so someone put in chat, like someone was on the stream last night. I can't remember the dude's name, but someone was on the stream last night saying, I've been watching your streams, I'm thinking about doing some content, what cameras do you have, etc. And I'm like, do it. Like, just do it. Because, if you don't just give it a go, you'll never know. And this is the thing, like, we got what, 226 people in chat, only 123 likes. Come on, it's still a show. Still doing a show for you people. But if 10% of you are thinking about creating a channel or doing some sort of content, that's another 22 people that are thinking about launching a channel and doing some kind of content. And I never want to have a studio or a setup or a team, because I genuinely look at people like Lawrence and I'm in awe of what he's creating at Tactics. And that's like what Lawrence has, what Titans have, what PlayOn has, what Mini Wargaming has. These are my idols in the space. This is where I want to be, right? These are my influences. This is the people who have said, hey, look, this can be bigger than just a man in his living room with a shit camera. And that's where I want to be. That's where I want to get to. So if I had never have taken that leap in 2017 and made that first video, I wouldn't be here now. You've seen a terrible video with a terrible camera, a questionable beard trim and an awful haircut, bounce on a shitty chair, and then 6.5 years later be moving into his studio, and doing it himself. If 10% of you are looking at making content, if there is in fact 22 people out there in the chat right now who are wanting to get into this, please, genuinely, honestly, feel free to reach out to me on Discord or an email, because I will help you in every possible way I can. Absolutely every possible way I can help you, I will help you. Because if out of those 22 people I can make this a reality for one more person, then I think that's incredible. I'd be immensely proud of that.
Leave it out. If it was perfect to start with, then where's the room for growth?
No, but this is what I'm saying, Jill. Like, it was awful. It was terrible. It was dreadful. I hate it. I won't get rid of it, partly because Luce won't let me, but I won't get rid of it because if you don't, it's like, I was talking about this not too long ago with painting, right? If you try and paint a golden demon piece for your first ever piece, you're never actually going to get there because it's kind of impossible. There has to become a point where you just go, it's going. Done is better than perfect, because perfect is never done. Done is better than perfect. Did you talk quietly on that first vid, or is it so old your voice broke since then, says Ozzy? Fun fact, the reason why the channel started was because we had our second born child, who happens to be 6 years old, and was born on the 4th of July. So we had our second born child, and he what Luce and I decided to do is we would basically have shifts. So I would cover till sort of 1-2 o'clock in the morning and do his nighttime feed, which is normally about 1 a.m. So I do his nighttime feed at 1 a.m. wind him, get him ready for bed, change his nappy, etc., put him in bed. I'd then go to bed at 2 o'clock once all that was done, and I would sleep. And when he woke up again for his 5 a.m. feed, Luce had already been sleeping from like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. She'd then get up and do his 5 a.m. feed, and I'd sleep in the morning because I'm not a morning person. And she'd be up then with him from that point. So the reason why I was talking like this and was really quiet was because I was in a living room that was about the size of this office, if I'm honest with you. I was sat one end of the living room in our big kind of round lounge chair, and he was the other side of the room in his Moses basket on top of the sofa. And so if I had talked like this, I would wake him up, right? So it's I would sit here and I would talk like this. I would thank you for joining us, and I would purposely make myself quieter, simply because I didn't want to wake up the less than 1 month old baby, the 2-week-old baby, right? The 2-week-old baby was why I didn't want to wake him up, and so I talk quietly. And now I got like he's 6 and upstairs, my 10-year-old's upstairs, and I can be like, and they'll sleep for anything now. But yeah, honestly that's why the channel started, because I'd sit there every single evening. I'd sit there and I was like, well, I don't know what to do. Now, I think maybe a year and a half, 2 years previous, if I'd have been in the same situation, what I would have done is I would have put on video games, to be honest with you. That's what I would have done at that time whilst I was sat there waiting for him to wake up. But when I moved back down to the South Coast after I left the armed forces, I got involved with a channel called Visicast, which still on YouTube, still find him. John has actually recently been painting demons. I'm getting so excited that he might get back into the hobby. But I was on a channel called Visicast. And basically what happened was I was looking for a hobby group locally when I got down here. Found a hobby group, joined the hobby group, and then John had put an advert in said hobby group saying, I'm looking for people to come and film on my brand new YouTube channel. Do people want to come and do battle reports with me? But fuck it, that sounds like fun. I'll give that a go. Never done anything with video cameras before in my life. Never done anything with that kind of stuff before, ever. Like nothing. So I was like, yeah, fuck it. That sounds like fun. I'll put my name forward. Hey John, I got a reasonably painted Eldar army. I'll do it for you. I'll come and play. And so I went and joined him on Visicast. And to start with, John owned a professional video production company. That was his day job. And he would make adverts for big brands like Mazda or Cunard and people like that. And so when I rocked up and saw his setup, I was like, whoa, okay. A lot more goes into this than I thought there was. But actually, John was quite encouraging behind the scenes, and eventually got to a point where I was like, I want to do my own. I really want to do my own thing. I'm adding kind of content and value to his channel. I'd actually like to do this on my own. I'd like to give it a go. And he was very encouraging, very positive. So that particular video that I've linked, the one that you're all watching now terribly, I borrowed a digital SLR from Brom, which wasn't a very good one, but it was a digital SLR from Brom. It wouldn't allow you to continuously record for longer than 20 minutes because it would cut out. Because there's a thing with tax in the UK actually. If you sell a camera to be a photo camera and you sell a camera to be a video camera, there's different tax implications. And essentially, it means that video cameras in the UK are more expensive because the tax is higher. And the way that they essentially define what's a video camera and what's a photo camera is how much continuous recording you can do. So if essentially it can run under, I think it's 22 minutes or 23 minutes or something. If it can run under 23 minutes and it cuts off, it's a photo camera predominantly and a video camera second, and so it hits tax bracket A. If it can record continuously for longer than 23 minutes, it's no longer a photo camera, it's now a video camera. It sits in tax bracket B, which is a higher tax bracket. And this one that Brom had was tax bracket A because it's cheaper. And so I honestly had to sit there with my phone in between my legs on a vibrate timer. And so as it started vibrating, I knew I had to wrap up the section I was talking about so I could stop the recording, start the recording again, and go again. And that was like, if I used to make an hour video, there was at least 3 to 4 sections that I had to stitch together because I couldn't continuously record for 1 hour straight. But he lent me the camera. And then eventually I worked out that camera had a 3.5mm jack input, and I spent something like £12 on Amazon for a 3.5mm lapel jack mic so I could try and improve my audio. And then the snowball started. And that's where, so like I said, if there's 10% of you want to give it a go, give me a shout. I'll be that encouraging person that I had from John and from people like that. And you can do it too eventually. Dave B, thank you for the 2. Get the fuck in, dude. Love you, man. Super chuffed for you. That was almost in English, Dave. Well done. But thanks, dude. You're a hero. Odd the Quiet, thank you for the 10. Congratulations, Jim. It's not a boy studio. It's not a girl studio. It's a Bill. Oh, you could have warned me. You're not muted. You just deafened them all. That's right, I've muted you now. That's her plugging a mic in, by the way. Tell me when you're ready, darling. Okay. That wonderful introduction that you just had was Luce plugging a mic in. She's here now.
Sorry.
You just washed your hair and had a shower?
Yeah, hair washing day is like a thing. It's a whole thing.
Is it?
It is a thing.
Not for me.
Well, you wear the same hair every day, so...
Well, you don't change your hair, Luce.
I swear, girls have trickier hair. Apart from we have bigger fluctuations in hormones. But every time you have a baby, it resets your hair type. And then your hair's on 7-year cycles anyway. And then if you dye your hair, you've fucked it up. So hair washing day is a whole thing.
Soup says it's fine. I've got a spare eardrum. Didn't need that one.
Sorry.
Honestly, I'm lacking the editing skills. Is my concern. Soldier of Nerdism, right? When I started with Visicar, so we're kind of talking about like the origin story as well as being incredibly excited and incredibly humbled, and actually at one point today slightly emotional when I was showing you around the studio.
Were you really?
Yeah,
Aww.
it's hard to believe that it's real.
Oh,
it's
you stop.
Like it was, because your face when you walked in was like, oh my fuck, this is a big space.
Yeah, it is. It's much bigger. When you and Joe were talking about the sizes yesterday, I was like, oh no, that doesn't actually sound much bigger than what he's already got. And I wonder if he's just trying to make it work because this is like the 4th one.
Oh, I've been looking for a while.
Yeah. But actually, it's massive.
And it's not often she says that.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. But when you walked in and I saw your face, so I'd already some context chat. Wednesdays is my day to look after the kids. It's Lucy's one day off a week. We've told you this before. So I had to take the kids with me this morning to do the handover because I will not go, oh, Luce, I've got this thing booked. I'm going to dump them on you. So I took them over. I left them in the car with their iPads whilst I was dealing with the estate agent and doing all the handover and all that sort of stuff. So once the handover had been done, which would have thoroughly bored the children, I then went and got them and brought them upstairs so I could fuck around a bit because I needed to try and get the air conditioning working. And the kids came in and both my boys walked in. And this was the first like lump in throat moment where my eldest and my youngest both walked in and was like, Dad, is this yours? And I'm like, yep, this is all me. This is all me. And they like walked around and was like, and Ben was like, this is massive as he was walking around. And then he walked in like, and genuinely this happened. He walked in, Dad, this is your kitchen. I'm like, yeah, I know. And they went, that's your toilet. I was like, yeah, I know. And that was what he was walking around doing, all like in the room. So then we put them back in the car because Luce was turning up. She'd been in town grabbing some bits and pieces. And Luce, so I said, do you want to see it? She's like, yeah. So I took her upstairs. I had almost the same reaction. And I was like, this is hard, actually, because this is ours now. It isn't mine. It's ours, chat. It's ours. It's ours now. But I was like, this is actually real. But this day's actually come.
The whole time I was walking around it, I was going, what about Ray? How is Ray getting in here? Because we had the element.
No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the studio.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the other thing that you're talking about that no one knows about yet.
Okay. I don't know
Unplug
what you
that
include me.
But yeah, so like it was just one of those moments. So I was talking to them about how I was a bit emotional today, but I came home, sat shopping. I'm about to spend thousands. Sad I'm spending thousands. Oh, hey, I've got some savings. Not anymore, but...
Well, what you do is you don't say it out loud because then the fridge won't break. Then the washing machine won't break.
But I actually don't care. Like,
yeah.
I'm actually happy to... I am gutted that the first time in my life I have a little bit of savings, and it's a little bit, it's not a lot. And it's all going to go. It's all going to go on the studio. And I'm like, yeah, I'm into it. Let's do it. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Let's make this incredible. Let's do the best we can. So I like, it's not... I was sat here all day filling shopping baskets online going, I think we need that. I haven't bought a load of stuff because actually what I need to do tomorrow is get in there with a tape measure and some masking tape so I can start planning areas and mapping things out. So that's one of the big things I want to do tomorrow, and then I can actually start buying. I'm not even sad about buying this stuff now. because I'm just so excited. So we started talking about an origin story. We've got the first ever video pinned in chat. Don't put it on because I know you'll have your microphone on, you'll have your speakers on, and everyone will be able to hear it. But the first ever video we did is currently pinned in chat. I was like, look, this was us 6.5 years ago.
Oh, wow. 6.5 years ago.
Ben was 2 weeks old.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
20, I think, what did we say it was, chat? 27th of July? Hang on, let me scroll up again.
Nearly 6.5.
Yeah, I'm near as fuck as to swearing 6 years ago. I can't remember where it's gone. But 27th of July, 2017 was the premiere for the channel.
Wow.
So, you know, I was like, and what I said was, like, we had 220 people watching at the time, but I said, if out of all of the people that are watching, 10% of you are thinking about starting it, fucking start it, give it a go.
Yeah.
I would rather have failed and gone, I gave it my best, than never tried at all. This is cheesy shit. Like, you'll hear this all over the place. Like, it is cheesy, but I wanted to give it a go back then, and I gave it a go, and I watched that video back now, and Luce will tell you, I cringe, I hate it. But if I hadn't have done that video, I wouldn't be doing this video right now.
Yeah,
that's just a fact.
True.
I would never have got here. So, you know, if you think about giving it a go, give it a go. Well, Master, well, thank you for the two. Luce's lip syncs. So there's a phrase out there, loose lip sync ships.
Yeah.
I like the way that's a little bit of a. Anyway, I will actually. Fuck you, John. Talking about loose lips, I will elaborate on that in just a moment. Big Bag Peter Gamer, thank you for the 5. Which would you recommend to start with doing first, live or pre-recorded videos for a new channel? Congrats for getting keys for Studio Bombardment. If I was starting again right now, I actually don't think I'd do anything different.
I was going to
say, a lie. I would get into live sooner, but I wouldn't have started with live.
I was going to say, because pre-recorded allows you to watch it back and go, oh, a van drove past then, and so that's highlighted to me. So, I need soundproofing there.
Pre-recorded, you can delete it before anyone sees it and start again.
Yeah.
But you can't do that with live.
So it's not necessarily about getting my good side. It's just about, I didn't realise the washing machine makes that much noise. I didn't realise how busy our road is at this time. So filming at this time is a real nightmare. All of these things that, because it's ambient in the background, microphones pick up so much more than what your brain just won't register. Even though you're hearing the van, you're hearing the washing machine.
Yeah, but it's normal to you.
Exactly.
It's like normal,
so when you hear
noise.
it back and you go, is it really that loud? So pre-recorded is brilliant for that reason.
So if I was actually going to start all over again right now, Big Bad Peter Gaming, I genuinely mean this 100%. I would start off with pre-recorded talking heads. It would be slightly different right now if I was going to launch right now, because what I would try and probably do right now, considering what's popular on YouTube at the moment and what YouTube's pushing, is I'd probably try and mix it in with things like shorts and stuff like that. But I would absolutely start off with pre-recorded only, and I would start off with talking heads, because you can do it with one camera, one microphone, and nothing else, and a memory card and a dream. Okay. The other thing I did in the early stages is I think it was Soldier of Nerdism says his editing skills had let him down. When I started back on VisiCast, before I jumped across and started doing it on my own, I had zero experience in front of a camera, zero experience behind a camera, and zero experience with editing software. In fact, the laptop that I edited the first video on is still sat on Luce's desk now.
Lappy toppy.
And I used to have to edit on it at 25% quality so that it could handle the edit. And then when I rendered and exported the video in Premiere Pro, which is an Adobe software piece, I had to leave it rendering overnight. And actually, 4 times out of 5, I'd come down and the render would have failed because the computer gave up. Can't do it, it's too hard. And I'd have to, sometimes it would take me 4 days to get a video ready because I had to keep putting it on and letting it render for 5 hours, 6 hours before it went, and I've managed to spit the video out, we're actually good now. Oh, thank fuck. And then I'd upload the video to YouTube. And the upload to YouTube would take me fucking 2-3 hours because my internet was shit. So, that's where I started. And I spent hours upon Luce, and Luce will tell you this, she'll validate this, hours upon hours upon hours upon hours on YouTube, just watching people's videos, watching people like Peter McKinnon. How do I do this thing on Premiere Pro? How do I and sometimes there'll be shit in videos that I've done in the past that will have taken me hours of learning and hours of making for what is something like a very simple graphic that no one will know. It takes you so long to do. and I'm chuffed to nuts with it. But you lot won't notice because you won't. You just, like, and that, I'm not being horrible here. I'm not taking the piss. You just won't, and there'll be little transitions and little things that I'll do that will happen, and I'm super chuffed with it. It's taken me hours to learn. My scoreboard for the live stream, I dread to think how many hours it took me to learn how to make that work, where I have an Excel spreadsheet. What you guys don't see is you don't see the back end. I wonder if I've got the demo version still in the shared folder. Because if I have, in fact, got the demo version in the shared folder, I can show you what the back end looks like for the first time ever. YouTube. 10th stream, scoreboard 2.0. Yeah. Oh, it's not got all of it in here, actually. Is it? So all the buttons haven't come through. Oh, that's because it's opened it in. Can I just download it then? I want to show you, like, this is just stuff that I'm very proud of, so I'm going to show you. Will it open in Excel if I click at this? Yeah, okay, cool. So the actual scoreboard version has updated since I did this, right? But this is what the guys are working with. Now I've changed it slightly since because 10th and stuff. And it does different things with points. But these here, for example, are all drop-down boxes, and it gives you the team. And these are drop-down boxes, and it gives you the faction. So when the guys are prepping the stream, they'll pick that Liam's playing Sisters and Paddy's playing Blood Angels. And this is how you add... Oh, it's going to break, isn't it? This macro may not be available in this workbook, or all macros may be disabled. Block macros running. How do I enable macros? No, I don't want to press that button. I want to enable macros. Developer. Where's my macros? They all should be okay. Okay, does it work now? No, it's not going to work. So these buttons, normally, in the next door stream, all work, right? And when you do things and you press the update score button, it sends out loads of code. And it updates this shit here. And these things are the things that all go into the scoreboard that you see. And it fills another spreadsheet in, which is a schema.xml file. And that schema.xml file is then brought in via live data through OBS. And this is what I had to build so that we could run a scoreboard. And this is what the guys use on the back end. So when you lot were telling me last night, you haven't given Joe his 10 points for secondaries, I could tell that I had because it said 10 points in it. So I knew that I had done it. But to build this thing in Excel, to do all the things that it does, and then update OBS the way that it updates OBS, was hours upon hours upon hours upon hours of work. And it's not, honestly, it's not something that most of you will notice. It'll just, oh, he's done a scoreboard. Cool. Like, okay, Eddie's in, can confirm. Each short takes me 5 or 6 hours for a 1 minute video. When I was at my quickest for shorts for Titans, it was taking me maybe 2 hours to do one. Eddie's just started, okay? So, you know, he'll get quicker, but 5 to 6 hours is genuinely not unreasonable. So, I'm still on Peter's comment. I would 100% start with pre-recorded. I would learn the trade. I would spend hours in YouTube, hours learning how to use Premiere Pro, how to do the things I want to do. You learn so much. Luce was talking about if you have a bad file and you hear a bus in the background, you can delete it. You can delete it. What I would do in the first instance as well is I wouldn't delete it. I'll be on YouTube how to remove background noise from a file.
I remember the whole saga about B-roll. Oh, I had to sit through that one, chat. I had no one to tag in. Thank God you're here now.
B-roll is a whole other thing. And I would try and learn how to remove that bus sound specifically from that video. And it would take, like, I'd have hours and hours and hours of watching videos to learn. And sometimes I'd watch all those videos, try all the tricks, and I still wouldn't be able to solve it. And then I'd bin the footage anyway. But if I ever got a slightly, like a real little niggly noise in the background, I was like, well, I can just apply that thing that I learned last time. Oh, it worked this time. Because it was a little noise. So it was a thing I'd learned. The other thing I would change is I think I would nowadays push into live content sooner than I did before. We actually tried live content pretty early on in the channel. I don't know if you guys remember, but we used to have a Twitch stream before YouTube really did streaming. So YouTube didn't have memberships, didn't have gifted memberships, didn't have super chats. In fact, some people forget that gifted memberships are like within the last 2 years. When was like Mini Wargaming? Gifted memberships are less than a year and a half old.
Are they?
Yep. Gifted memberships got turned on for my channel when I was in Mini Wargaming. And I was in Mini Wargaming in April or May 2022. Gifted memberships are a year and a half old.
It feels like...
Yep. It feels like forever.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
How did YouTube work before?
So before that, 97% of my revenue for my content was Super Chat revenue. Because Super Chats was a newish thing. YouTube actually, when I first started, YouTube had YouTube Premium or YouTube Red or YouTube Plus or whatever they would call it. And that was the way you could have memberships. And a bunch of people took out YouTube Plus. Lawrence originally moved a lot of his audience from his website to YouTube Plus because it was a membership system and it was the conversion rate was higher. And then YouTube pulled the plug on it and shut it down.
Their little experiment.
And then for a while, the only way you were monetized on YouTube was with advertising revenue. That was it.
And this is where everybody gets the impression that sticking a bunch of adverts in your YouTube video will make you rich. But it doesn't.
Nope. Like the funny thing is, if you watch a video where you're watching, I don't know, half an hour's worth of content, there's fucking 15 ads in it every 2 minutes, they're still only making a tenner off that video max. Like ad revenue does not do a lot for a video.
No, it doesn't.
At all. It really doesn't do a lot. So that was the only way you could be monetized. Then eventually they turned memberships back on in its now current form, and they started to turn streaming back on, and they basically looked at Twitch, who you have donations on Twitch and you have subs on Twitch and gifted subs on Twitch. And YouTube went, well, we could do that. We could do the same. And they did do the same. The difference with YouTube is instead of taking a 50% cut, they take a 30% cut. And that's, so I would jump into live streaming sooner now. I did try it before on Twitch, but like I said, 50% cut. Something tells me John might be going into YouTube jail. Or he's desperately trying to get me to read out the name for the 50 that he gifted before and the one that he's just gifted, which is Whittle Williams' first stream.
Well, it is Whittle Williams' first birthday.
Studio's first birthday.
Whittle Williams Studio's first birthday.
Yeah, my bank account has been longer for Super Chats. Oh, amazing. You're a legend. Thank you very much. I'll update on the tracker. Thank you, but you can stop now, John. You can stop. It's too much. You're too kind. Oh no, not that many. We are closing in on the actual goal for the night, which I didn't think we'd get. I'm just being greedy, right? YouTube Red, gods, I paid for that. I think I did as well, actually. Mountain Miniatures, come back, dude, anytime. I would love to, Steve. I planned to. I literally spoke to Dave on the phone yesterday and said that I would try and sort out a trip out at some point next year. This year it's not going to happen now with the new studio, but Steve, 100% at some point next year I'll come out to you guys again and hang out because the bunker's cool and you're all amazing. That is Mountain. If you guys don't know who I'm talking to, by the way, that's Mountain Miniatures, who's just above John's last gifted membership, which is Steve. Check out his channel. Steve's a legend of the Mini Wargaming crew with his own little channel as well. Go check out that channel. I say little, it's probably bigger than mine. In fact, it's almost definitely bigger than mine. Go check out that one because Steve's a good dude. What a hero. That's a serious amount of time. I don't really do shorts, but for main vids, try my best to get the vocals down in one and take in one take to cut the time it takes to make the video. Yeah, it's hard. It is hard. Have you moved t-shirt purchases to Shopify yet, or is that on the back burner? It's on my to-do list, Jill. At some point soon, Jill, I'm gonna have a desk in an office where I can actually sit down and focus and do work. It's on the back burner because the studio became more important. But yes, we are going to move We're going to move a couple of the other t-shirts across to the Shopify page and deal with them the way that the current ones are now being dealt with on Shopify. We will then delete the old t-shirt store and get rid of it altogether. And then what we are intending to do is start adding more designs that are probably slightly more comedy as well. Right? Mini Wargaming are the OG of YouTube. Mini Wargaming is one of the, for me, the three big original trailblazers on YouTube that I knew existed was Mini Wargaming, Tabletop Tactics, and Striking Scorpion. Now, personally, I never really watched Striking Scorpion. Nothing against his content, it just wasn't me. I started off by watching Mini Wargaming and watching Tabletop Tactics. As I started watching more and more, my YouTube suggestions became obviously more, refined into the 40k world, and I started getting suggested other channels, like Winters and people like that. But they were the first two. In fact, when Mini Wargaming first started making content, and there's a podcast actually that's on Vanguard Tactics it's from a year and a half, 2 years ago now. That's probably worth a watch. And he interviews. There's me, Steve, Dave, and James from Siege all talking. And when they first started, here's the thing. I don't know if I've ever told you this. When Mini Wargaming started doing on-demand content, you had to go to their website, sign up, and they would send you a DVD because you couldn't just watch it on the website. That science didn't exist at the time.
Not a VHS.
They'd send you a DVD at least. In fact, when they first started on YouTube used to restrict how long a video could be that you were uploading. So they would upload a game in multiple videos. So one video might be turn 1 or the movement phase. And then they'd upload another one, which is the next movement. And that's how they used to do it. So you'd have, I don't know, for sake of argument, 10 videos that would be one game in 10 different sections. Because you couldn't upload bigger files on YouTube.
Wow.
They really started right at the beginning.
That must have been a whole operation.
Oh, that must have been hard.
Getting them out.
That must have been difficult.
No, forget
But imagine that as well. Imagine their business was actually sending DVDs to people. That's incredible.
How do you begin to explain that to the post office?
That's incredible. That's why they started.
I'm sorry, you're sending homemade videos to paying customers. Right. It's, yeah, okay.
Corner Ed says, Mountain Steve is a fucking legend. Him and Dave are my favourite Mini Wargaming peeps. Strong agree. I mean, to be fair, though, Ed, they're all amazing. Matt's amazing. Luke is amazing. They're all amazing. They're amazing people there. Sad Joe is happy about the new studio. Thanks for the 10. John's having some fun tonight. Have you been drinking today, John? It was hard getting the moving image on the cave wall back then. It was. Thanks so much, John. But I say, John, this might not be him anymore. If it's down at 10, it could be anyone. But taking a random image and turning it into a gifted membership person sounds like a John thing to do. I still have a VHS player. I even got software to connect it to my PC and save the videos on the computer. That's amazing. My kids. I never thought I'd be this person ever in my life. My kids don't know what a VHS is.
I can't wait.
They don't even know what a DVD is, really. They see a disc, they just think video game.
I got James one unit in his science that we did this year was electrical circuits, and I went on the internet and I found a science electrical circuit, and he was kind of like, the crocodile clips that carry the current. He was like, what do these do? So I explained it. Little light bulb. Oh, I know what this is. Little switch. I know what this is. And the fan. Know what this is. And then when it got to swapping out items of the circuit so you could put in another electrical thing, the bits and bobs drawer has never been so ransacked. Stuff that we know what it is, like, I don't know, a football pump. Because he doesn't really play football, he's never really come across a football pump. And I pump his tyres up on his bike, so he doesn't really see that. And then we ended up having a bits and bobs chat, and something was in there. Flip phone. I found a flip phone. He was like, what is this? And I went, that, James, has a calculator on it. Mind blown. It didn't have predictive text yet, but it did have a calculator, and you couldn't get polyphonic. What's polyphonic ringtones? Right, sit down, pot of tea on. We'll do circuits tomorrow. We're now talking about the history of ringtones. If you paid money, you could get the chorus from your favourite song.
I told him once about how you had to text and you'd leave letters out.
Yeah, I did.
And you had to tap each letter, and then it would eventually. And he was like, because they have. I won't lie to you, chap. We home educate both of them. Part of their educational tools is they both have an iPad. They're not a particularly fancy iPad, bog standard, lowest. I made a mistake, by the way. Lowest memory size level of iPad, which is a mistake because now we play musical fucking games on their iPad because they haven't got space to store more than about 6. Because I was cheap and I bought literally the cheapest ones we could. But I was like, hey, we're going to use it for typing and for texting and for literacy and for Google searches and YouTube videos. It's supposed to be an educational tool more than a gaming tool, and actually for that it's fine. But so my eldest specifically will text us from the messages app because Lucy and I both got iPhones, And the only two numbers he's got got 3 numbers saved in his phone at the moment in his phone book: me, mum, and then brother. That's it. So but obviously because he's only ever used iMessage to send a message to anyone. Unlimited number of characters, predictive text, autocorrect spell, I'm like, oh my god, you privileged little fuck. Easton Jones, thank you so much for the 50 gifted, man. That's three sets of 50s tonight from people.
I used to leave spaces out of my text messages and then start each new word with a capital letter to try and get the most out of my Tempe text.
I didn't do that at least.
Yeah.
That is an incredible number of 50s already from people. No more 50s tonight. You're all banned from 50s from now on, okay? John McCardle gifted 50 before I even got to go live. Well, Toilet Dice gifted 50 before I even got to go live.
He's trying to atone for the toilet dice. It's fine. We'll take your atonement.
I wish we'd have had these 200 last night when Bron was slapping himself in the face.
When I walked in that garage, he actually had a red forehead. It was actually red.
I remember I think the second or third phone I ever had was a Samsung flip phone, and it had polyphonic ringtones and a colour screen. And at the point in which I got that phone, that was considered cutting edge.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably the most expensive phone on the market. And my parents were aghast at the cost.
Aghast?
What do you think the cost of that phone? So when you consider...
how big was it?
Aghast. Right, let's go. Apple website, right? This is just an exercise right now. Apple website, iPhone 15 Pro Max, click buy. We'll go flagship Pro Max, right? I'm being stupid now, chat on purpose. Who cares about colour? I don't give a shit. 1 terabyte. How much do you think at the moment a 1 terabyte iPhone 15 Pro Max is? So it's their flagship phone, the biggest one they do with their highest amount of memory. How much do you think that would cost you right now?
I don't know. I don't know.
If you buy this right now, 1 terabyte Pro Max in the UK, and you Americans are going to laugh your nuts off here because I think you pay the exact same price in dollars, and if you know conversions, it's a lot less than we pay. £1,599 for their flagship phone right now with their biggest memory. Okay, £1,599. So £1,600 if you want to buy their flagship phone right now. I wanted to trade my iPhone 14 in for the iPhone 15 Pro, not Pro Max, and I wanted the second biggest one, 256 gig, because I don't need anything bigger than that. And with trading this one in, which is an iPhone 14 Pro, I still had to hand over £600-700, and I was like, I have a studio to pay for.
Yeah,
I can't. There's no way I can afford to upgrade my phone.
Let's make sensible choices.
So you will spend £1,600 right now for an iPhone 15 Pro Max. Not to mention the fact that it's currently all over the press for bending and breaking really easily again.
Oh no, we don't want that one.
Bendgate's back, right? Bendgate is back. So £1,600 for an iPhone 15 Pro Max. So when I bought my little Samsung flip phone, top of the range, market leading polyphonic ringtones and colour screen, how much do you think it was? And remember, my parents
were aghast.
How much do you think it was?
50 quid? No. I don't know. 200?
Fuck me. You can tell she's from Coventry and they buy it all out the back of a van from a man in a fucking Adidas tracksuit.
If it fell off a lorry, that's not my fault.
Yeah. If he's selling it out of a suitcase loose and he's wearing a full tracksuit, it probably isn't legitimate. £300 it was back then.
Yeah.
And that was, for all intents and purposes, considered extortionate for a mobile phone.
My favourite mobile phone, if this is the one, I hope it is. Yes, my favourite phone. Before this,
Is it an Alcatel?
Yeah, I had my first phone I had. I think it was a Nokia, but it had an antenna, so you had to pull that up to actually get a phone call, and I had to sellotape the back on it because the battery kept falling out, and the network was 1-to-1. Before it became T-Mobile, before it became
EE.
No, it became Orange, and then.
So T-Mobile and Orange were always separate, but they merged and they became EE.
So the first ever network was 1-to-1.
1-to-1, yeah.
So I was on that one. And I had a Nokia something or other. And then my favourite, and it's still now, part of me is really sad that this phone just would not be conducive to life now, It's the Alcatel OT E230, and I love that.
I mean, that was the days when they knew about gnoming phones as well, right?
I love that little phone. It flashed blue when you got a text message. It flashed orange for a phone call.
My Samsung used to have that little LED indicator.
Oh, I loved it, and it was just so simple. You wouldn't catch me staring at it for more than 2 seconds. But now all of us are face down.
I want to know if I can find one of these old phones and get them working.
I want my Alcatel back.
Because
really
what I might do is, when I'm trying to have a day off, is then just take that one out and not my smartphone.
Yeah.
Because then I can't be connected.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'd have an itch, actually. I think I wouldn't be able to cope.
I did it last week or the week before. I put my focus on my phone, so it's just a house phone.
I was also
now.
the person, by the way. I mean, this is very off topic now, but I was also the person who, when iPods and mini discs came out, I was the person who was like, I bought the mini disc player, and was like, this is the future. Them iPods are not going to go anywhere. Why? Because those iPods, you can only download music, whereas from the iStore, whereas my mini disc player, I could still record it off the radio. And that's why iPods are dead. How correct was I? I was then the person, when the smartphone world started to come into being, I bought, not an iPhone 3, I bought a what's it fucking called? I bought a BlackBerry Storm.
Oh, I had the. I think mine was just a BlackBerry.
The BlackBerry Storm was the touchscreen BlackBerry that was basically an iPhone, where the whole screen was one big button. The BlackBerry Storm, and I was like, iPhones won't take off. I'm going BlackBerry.
Yeah.
So essentially, chat, in the future, if any new tech comes out and is in competition with each other, and I pick a side, you're better off backing the other side. Because Mr. Liam, who says he likes tech, is often very wrong. Soldier of Nerdism, welcome to the channel as a Skull tier member. Choosing to become a member all by yourself. What a legend. Thank you so much. Here's a challenge. Delete your favourite app. What's your favourite app?
On my phone?
Yeah. That's an interesting challenge. Which is the app that I use? Oh, Screen Time was the one I use the most.
The one I use the most, or my favourite one?
Your favourite one. So the one I use the most is probably going to be WhatsApp. Screen Time. Here we are, Screen Time. See all activity.
Oh, probably Facebook.
Oh my God.
It's the one I use the most.
Okay, this is interesting. So if you go into Screen Time, right, and you click on See All Activity, okay. Hang on, what is it? My daily average on my phone. Now remember, chat, right? Before you all start judging me.
We're judging.
Before you all start judging me, I quite literally run my business from this fucking thing.
We're judging.
My daily average screen on time, 7 hours and 18 minutes. That's a lot, right? Already. My most used app, WhatsApp. So my total screen time in the last, is it 7 days, I guess? Yeah, I guess 7 days. Is 21 hours and 54 minutes in 7 days. My most used app is WhatsApp at 4 hours and 59 minutes. So 5 hours on WhatsApp alone. Now, WhatsApp is how I talk to everybody. It's how I talk to Tack from PlayOn. It's how I talk from Dave from Mini Wargaming. It's how I talk to everybody all the time. And a lot of that WhatsApp time as well, by the way, is in the fucking OnlyFans. So it's your fault. My next highest app is Instagram with 2 hours and 42 minutes. By the way, this is all down as well because I've been trying to make a conscious effort of putting my phone down more. This is down, by the way, just to be clear. So Instagram's my second highest. My third highest, Facebook, at 1 hour 34. My next highest, emails, at 1 hour 26 minutes. I spend a lot of time in emails, apparently. Then Facebook Messenger, 1 hour 10 minutes. All my chats with Titans are in Facebook Messenger. Then YouTube Studio, which is my app for managing the channel, which is an hour. And then Google Chrome at 52 minutes. Here's a challenge for chat then. If you've got these same sort of tools, so this is just my settings. In my settings app in my iPhone, I go settings, screen time, and then I go see all activity. If you've got the same on Android, you probably have. Tell me, chat, in order, your top 5 used apps from 1 to 5. 1 being the most used app, 5 being the 5th one, obviously. Go. There's your challenge. I want to see it all now. Now. This is engagement. This is content. This is what YouTube loves. Might be a mix of YouTube, Discord, and a game or two. I can't get into mobile games.
When I turn the focus on my phone, so it's just phone calls and text messages, I genuinely felt shaky for the first couple of days. And it wasn't that I felt I was missing out, because I didn't take Facebook off my phone. I can still get to it. But even my normal watch, all it does is tell the time. My wrist was vibrating.
My pocket vibrates with no phone in it. Yeah.
Didn't have my smartwatch on because I thought, well, I can also get to my apps on my watch, so I'm not going to wear that. My wrist was vibrating, and it really made me think, oh my God, the robots have already, it's already bad.
It's addictive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I feel much more calmer now. And I know I sound really preachy, and this isn't intended that way, but I do feel more on the wavelength with the boys.
Soups is Discord, followed by WhatsApp, followed by Facebook, followed by Yahtzee, then followed by Minesweeper.
Yeah, Minesweeper.
The thing is, right, I actually think that my numbers are a little low on average for someone who literally manages everything from phone. It's not it. The thing is, chat. We're here today celebrating. Oh fucking hell! I've got myself stuck. There we go. We're here today celebrating the new studio for the channel. Okay, we're celebrating the birth of the Great Hall. The problem we do have, so I have said, if any of you are considering going for it in content, go for it, and I'll help you as much as I can. And I mean that, as much as I can, I'll help you, 100%. But what you do have to realise, if you are going to give this a go and you want to genuinely take it seriously, is it's a dog eat dog world out there in terms of YouTube. It's very corny to say this, I'm aware, but it is. And you know, in customer service in general nowadays, we have become a kind of species that just flat doesn't really have patience anymore. And so you in terms of responding to customers, to fans, to people, to supporters, to viewers, whatever you want to call them, you need to be on it. And when it comes to Games Workshop news, when it comes to I dread to think how bad the channel would be if I wasn't on my phone as much as I am. And I'm not actually on it this afternoon. Today's my day with the kids. This afternoon I sat for literally an hour with my eldest and just played a PlayStation game with him, and that was lovely. So I'm not glued to it all the time, but there's a reason why YouTube Studio and emails are right up there right now. Reddit, Messenger, AM, Spotify, that's it. Some of you got some impressively low numbers. Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, WhatsApp, Discord, other. Oops, Game, YouTube, TikTok. Discord, Twitter, Maps, Chrome, Messages. This is interesting. Instagram, Chrome, Messages, Messenger, Gmail. Pokemon Go is top for Big Bad Bit Gaming. TikTok, Instagram, Outlook, Discord, NatWest. That's not just you spending money, Peter, right? Have been for 11 months. Blame YouTube for keeping me grey. Says Told of Nedism. Well, you're green now, my friend.
Just started the stream from the start, so I'm in the past right now. Congratulations on getting the studio.
Well, you'll catch this last. But Casey, thank you so much for the 10. And Zena, thank you for the 10 gifted as well. It's mad numbers tonight, chat. Mad numbers. At least people stop gifting 50. I get uncomfortable with that. Well, I'm also very happy for it, but yeah. Facebook, Twitter, SOT Live. What's SOT Live? Discord, Messenger. SOT Live is a local news app. Ah, okay. Okay. It's innocent, I assure you. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Messenger. I thought YouTube would be high. I actually thought YouTube would be my top 5. Just Eat is in 6th place, says Ozzy. It's fit for 40k still a thing. Just Eat in 6th place is going, Sam Ozzy. That's amazing. How many takeaways do you have? I've got Just Eat. Let's see where that is on my list. There we go. Because we can go to show more. Chrome. YouTube was right under Chrome. It was the next one. Google Maps, TikTok, Amazon, Messengers, Calendar, Settings. That's it. I don't have Just Eat's not on here at all in the last 7 days. I have got 11 minutes now on my McDonald's because the Monopoly board's out. Signal, Firefox, Dexcom, G7, Messages, Audible. Mounted Manatee, I don't know what half those things are. Not half those things are. You people are incredible. Anyway. What are you looking for?
I'm just doing some housewife stuff.
I thought you on the internet?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's all on the internet now.
please don't search housewife stuff on the internet, Luce. Your search history is already dodgy.
They've ruined the hard work that us honest English housewives do. They've ruined it.
Ozzy says, I'm actually blushing in shame here. I don't know why I admitted that just embarrassment. No.
Because you're human, that's
You're
why.
a hero. You're an absolute hero, Ozzy. Don't you worry. Reminds me of my brother's mates back in their uni years. They had all 10 speed dials for local takeaways, and all of them were on first name basis. But when Luce was it the first or second one?
What's that?
When you were pregnant and the kebab shop knew your name.
They didn't know my name. No, they did not know my name.
Well, they knew your fucking order.
Yeah, they called me Dr. Pepper Lady. It's not probably not okay how much caffeine I drank growing James. It's probably not okay. It's fine. It got me through. I was all by myself. He'd abandoned me to go and build sandcastles for 4 months.
Was it the firstborn in Ipswich where you were known as Dr. Pepper Lady?
Yeah, it's Dr. Pepper Lady. And I was like, oh, this isn't good. This is not good. It's fine.
So don't you worry, Ozzy, because at least, I would hope at least you're not pregnant. So, you know. You're fine when you just eat addiction. Anyway, chat. Back on topic for a moment. So now I have these keys. What I'm going to be doing tomorrow, at some point in the morning, around, I reckon, 11 o'clock, Joe's going to turn up here. When Joe turns up here, I'm going to put him in the car and I'm taking him to the studio. And I might bundle some other stuff in the car as well and take it to the studio. I'm actually going to start putting boxes in the studio loose already.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
I started Twitch in 2014 and for 4 years I had to figure it out on my own because people were not helpful. So if anyone is thinking about YouTube, do message Liam, he will do his best to help. The tech side takes a bit to learn.
Man, 100% I will. Thank you for the 20. I was lucky that I had a couple of people around me to help. A lot of people were... Not a lot of people, that's not fair. A fair few people that I asked were quite gatekeepery. They didn't want to give it all away. It's almost like I've spent time learning this. So as a rite of passage, you should also spend time learning this. I don't subscribe to that same idea.
I disagree.
Okay. I don't subscribe to that same idea because I think the rite of passage isn't learning the technical side of how things work and what things you need, etc. So in terms of like how you would stream to Twitch and how you connect that thing and how you get that thing to do that, I can point people in the direction. I'll give you advice. I will even give you advice on what to do in your content. The rite of passage, for me personally, as a creator, is actually creating that content. So I can teach you everything. I could even, I mean, I can't because I haven't got spare, but I could even give you a camera and give you a microphone. What I can't do is create your content. Only you can create your content. And I can advise you on what you should create and how you should create it and the way you should address your audience and how you should talk to people and your channel kind of morals and all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, developing your own content, your own on-screen presence, your own on-screen kind of demeanor, that's 100% down to you, and I can't do that for you. So I won't gatekeep any detail. I will help you as much as I possibly can to progress. I even go a step further. You've probably seen it in the past. If what you're doing is decent, when I say decent, I don't mean like, oh, you've started for 5 minutes ago and you're making battle reports that are play on tabletop quality. I don't mean that at all. If what you're doing, however, I think, oh, hey, this person's really giving it their best and they're having a good go, I will even, as you well know, send people from our channel to you and get you some subscribers and at least some viewers. I will happily help people with that. The one caveat I will add is there are a few people that I've helped in the past where they've asked me for loads of advice. I spent hours analysing what they're doing and and I mean genuinely hours, analysing what they're doing, trying to help them, giving them advice and point them into direction, only for them to completely ignore me. Perfectly fine. Entirely up to you. Entirely your prerogative. You don't have to listen to a word I say. At the end of the day, we are still, in comparison, a relatively small channel. Only 26,000 subs here right now. Not the biggest in the world. If you want to ignore anything I say, I have no problem with that. Until that person then comes back to you 3 months later and asks for the same advice all over again, then I start to take a bit umbrage.
So I disagree because I completely get the person just then saying that people were really unhelpful, so I had to do it by myself for 4 years. But people want the easy way in all the time now, and half of the grind. How can you possibly feel proud of yourself if you're not going to do the grind?
Well, I had help.
No, you're asking for help isn't how people ask for help now.
No, yeah, okay. But I don't think Mandy would ask for help the way that you're suggesting either. You're suggesting not that people point you in the right direction, that people literally turn up to your house and do it all for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not...
So that's why it's, no, I'm sorry. Go
No,
and do your homework.
I get what you're saying then. I do. I genuinely get what you're saying.
Sweat
there.
it out a bit, just
Yeah.
as everyone else before you has.
So for example, I'll give you for instance, Luce, where I think actually we're the same. So if someone said to me, "How on earth do I stream to YouTube?" But okay, you need if someone asked me that question, but okay, you need some streaming software. The two best ones out there are OBS and Streamlabs OBS. Both are free. One of them's easier to use. One of them offers you more control over your streams. Streamlabs is easy to use. OBS offers you more control over your streams. Okay. There's plenty of tutorials out there, but that's what you want to start with. That's what I tell someone happily, without any shadow of a doubt. And I would even go so they're like, okay, is it easy enough to connect? Yeah, you click settings, go to stream, and it will show you like click Twitch or and it will show you how to connect it all. Okay. What I wouldn't do is send you a link as to where to download it from, and then like start showing you how to set up every single scene and set up every single asset. I wouldn't do all that. I'd be like, I've now told you that it's OBS Studio, right? I've told you that's the one I use, OBS Studio. I've told you even where I download some of my assets from. It's up to you to go and build your stream now. You build your stream. How do I get things in chat to, like, when I go exclamation mark? Well, it says I use Nightbot. So you go to Nightbot, log in with your YouTube account, and there's some instructions that show you how you make Nightbot an administrator on your page so it can do things. And if you want to set up commands, go in commands, go custom commands, and then off you go. I'm not going to tell you how to make every single command.
I've also had people take credit for my relentless research, my trials, tribulations, and successes. They've come in my slipstream of my hard work and have got there not one single bead of sweat. And it puts such a bad taste in my mouth of, right, prick. The next time you come asking me a question, you're going to get my big fat middle finger in your fucking face. Because I'm so... You don't get it because you're a man. And I don't mean to make this sexist, but I swear to God, it happens to women far more than it happens to men.
So I...
hate it.
Johan, thank you so much for the 5 gifted, you fucking legend. So, I think you're a legend, mate. Thank you very much. We're on 209. We could even get to 300 tonight in the next 6 minutes. I'm joking. I think that one of the most important things to me, or what has most certainly become one of the most important things to me in general in this space, is credit.
Is that because I've been like a bull in the kitchen raring to beat someone up and you're like, loose, calm?
No, it's not just you. It's not just you. There's been a number of circumstances in my career. It is career now, I guess. It's been a number of circumstances in my career where due credit is just not given to the right people. And that's whether it's been people that have aided us as a business in the past, or people that have aided us as a channel or whatever, and that they haven't got the credit they deserve, or whether it's even been myself. Building, for example, the DZ website and that business was a one-man job, and was incredibly difficult. As a learning curve, it was like fucking that.
Yeah.
And, people, that credit often isn't dished out.
No.
And sometimes it's not like it's something that's done on purpose, or it's done to be hurtful, or any of that kind of stuff. But it does impact people. I will forever say that why I do these particular streams is specifically because of Valrak. Why I do game-specific streams is specifically because of Titans. The reason why I'm able to do game streams is because I went and learnt my trade at Vanguard Tactics. And I will talk about the people that have inspired me to make the shows that I make. I try and make a show that is as close to Titans' standard as possible, just with a bit of swearing, because I think that they make the best online games, personally. So they're my favourite online games by a country mile. And so that's why I make that content. Talking Heads live streaming, the first person I really started watching doing Talking Heads live streaming was Valrak during COVID. So despite whatever you think about the type of content that he makes in terms of leaks and stuff, his banter with his audience and his kind of casual, chatty attitude was why I do these. It's why I started streaming. And I think that it would be very easy for me to sit here and be like, no. I do Talking Heads and I do games and that's it. But I don't think it's fair, even after all this time, to not be like, well, hang on, these people inspired me and that's why I make what I make. You know, there's a lot of people I've had help from and I want to give them that credit. And if I ever in the future bring in another form of content or another form of like pre-recorded show or another form of live stream, and I've been inspired by someone else to do this, I'd give them credit. And so if we circle back round to the original topic, if someone was to message me and I was to help them, this sounds petty maybe, but I don't care if their content goes out to 2 people or 2,000 people. Makes no difference to me, as long as they say, thanks to Liam, because he helped me get here. Just with advice. Credit is so important. So if you parade someone else's work around, and then you take the praise, and you don't be like, hang on, that was loose, then quite frankly, you're a cunt. It's as simple as that.
I'd be really interested. How many women are quite gatekeepery, guarded, quite hard to get to know in business versus how many men? And I wonder why the scale tips that way. So am I not alone? Are women actually very difficult to get to know in the worst workplace because they're constantly not given credit and not promoted, blah, 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 versus are men really easy to get to know because it's been a bit of a bird course for some guys in business? I'd be really interested to know that.
I don't know. The thing is, it's hard. I can't comment on it.
I wonder why that is, Mr. Alpha Male in the room. Any room you step in, asshole.
My career path, I've been quite lucky on the whole. The thing is, the other thing you have to be careful of as well, though, to be honest with you, is simply that sometimes in the same argument, people can be labelled unfairly. So some people could suggest that part of the reason why I've got where I am is because I'm a white male. But I've also worked fucking hard to get here. And that's the balance, right? But that's the way that, in my mind, personally, the way that this works well is when everybody credits each other fairly for the actual effort and time put in. And then we don't have the question. The question's not there because everybody's crediting everybody anyway for all the time and effort that they've put in. Does that make sense? That's a balanced world. We're not probably ever going to get there. Yes, it says Titans credited you for a recent chat plays game they did a few weeks ago. To be honest with you, yes, and one of the reasons why I have such an incredible relationship with Tabletop Titans is because they are those kinds of people. You know, they're in terms of channel sizes, they're 5-6 times the size of us, and they have no qualms in going onto a stream and say, hey, you know that little guy over in the corner there, that little British guy?
Hey, it's that one guy.
Hey, it's that one guy. Hey, you know that one British guy in the corner? We're doing this because we did it with his channel and it was fun. And I'm like, I have so much respect for that that I can then happily work with them, you know. And then it's not just them; other people have done it too. So let's not, you know, Play on Tabletop are a veritable giant in this space. Have done a chat plays video. When they started doing them, they were very kind about the fact they'd seen it on my channel and they thought it was great fun. Cool. At that point, I'm like, go and do more of them.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I don't even want you to credit me every video. You've said it once. I'm happy with that. That's fine.
Because it's out there.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
He's perfectly happy with that. Membership Vindicare, thank you for the gifted membership, you legend. Puts us on 220 right at the end of the night now. But yeah, if you want help, I'll help you. I have no doubt. I have no problems helping you whatsoever. And if I help you and you ignore everything I tell you, I won't be offended at all. But in this space in general, this isn't about me, and this is about the kind of general space. Just make sure you give credit that people deserve. It's very important to people, especially considering we live in a niche corner of the universe. People's work is often very personal to them. whether you're painting a
Yes.
model or creating a video, it is a form of artistic expression.
Yes, it is. It's very personal.
So anything from painting a hormigant to making an hour and a half battle report, to a point, it is a form of artistic expression, right? So just give credit. It doesn't cost anything either. That's the other thing that annoys me about it. It doesn't cost fuck all to say I got this idea from.
But it does cost.
It doesn't cost monetarily. It doesn't cost.
Yes, it does. I think it does, because if you have this idea that wasn't yours and you stole it, and you have 10 new customers come and think you're this genius guy that's had this idea, the second you give the correct credit to the person who inspired you for this idea, those 10 might go, why am I watching this guy?
Yeah, okay, possibly.
The original is on this channel.
But then you have to have the faith in your own content.
Make a better product
But
then.
I've had good bosses and I've had bad bosses, and I've had good bosses who, when someone has come to them at senior level and gone, you've done fucking great work, they've gone, whoa, not me, this guy or my team has done this, not me.
Yeah.
I've had bad bosses. The worst boss I ever had was an individual who, when shit was going well, would take all the praise and the pats on the backs and would never pass that one down. And when shit was going badly, would go, they did it, wasn't me. Without fail. That's bad
we
boss,
all know
right?
one of those.
Soldier of Nerdism, thank you for upgrading your membership to Jarl tier, you legend. For reference, chat, I was talking about taking Joe over there first thing in the morning tomorrow. Well, when he gets here, so about 11:30. What I'm going to do tomorrow when I take Joe to the studio is, between him and I, it won't be very long. We're talking 5-10 minutes. We're going to film with my phone a behind the scenes of the new studio from the inside. So I've shown you the picture today, but we're actually going to film a behind the scenes of the studio, and I'm going to show you guys with my phone roughly where that is going to be. Okay, where the tables, I'm hoping it's going to be, where the podcast area is going to be, where the casting couch is going to be in the corner. Right, that is going to go on the channel, but that will go as a behind the scenes video, which is Huskarl-tiers. So those of you who are Huskarl-tiers, I've neglected you of late. I'm aware of that. Unfortunately, a lot of our behind the scenes content right now isn't shit I'm allowed to share. Take from that what you will. But I'm going to take a little 5-minute video behind the scenes of the studio, and I'll share that with the Huskarls. So anybody who's a Huskarl, a Thane, or an Acer will start to get behind the scenes content for the studio. Fear not, however. Once the studio is live, once we've done the first stream in the studio, at some point I will knit a lot of that content together behind the scenes and produce an actual video for everybody who's a member to say thank you. All right? So that is also coming. Okay? But for now, at least, in terms of instant upgrades, instead of instant updates, instant updates will be for Huskarl-tiers. So I'm hoping over the course of the next month, there is tons of updates for Huskarl-tier members. But there will be an overall, if you guys are sat there as a Skald and you're like, oh, well, I can't afford to upgrade, don't worry. There will be, hopefully, a full behind-the-scenes video right at the end of the process, which will be a single video edited together. Hope that all makes sense. Anyway, we're over the time by 5 minutes. Thank you so much for the incredible support tonight. You people have been absolutely incredible, and I love you all very, very dearly. A huge, huge, huge shout out for Mr. the McCardle, who tonight alone has gifted 121 memberships.
Was it him?
Well, maybe not.
Was it?
Maybe not. But what an absolute legend. Thank you so much. But a big shout out to all of you who've gifted as well. You people are absolutely incredible, so thank you so much. I love you all very dearly. If you want to catch that instant behind-the-scenes content, grab yourself a Huskarl-tier upgrade just for this month, maybe. Just for this month. A little upgrade for 1 month only. And then you can downgrade next month, because we'll be done with the studio behind-the-scenes content, or month after maybe. Just a little bit extra support, just for a month. However, it is the end of the stream, and it wouldn't be the end of a stream without that very special moment. Because she's here, we get one on a Wednesday this time. It's Loose Facts.
On average, people have 100,000 hairs on their head, and they can lose around 50 to 100 hairs a day.
That's not true for Joe.
Why?
There's no, I mean, he's like Friar Tuck. There's no way he's
Friar
got...
Tuck!
He's a big... People don't realise that Joe's little man bun isn't because he was copying my old style. It's literally instead of buying himself a toupee.
Well, I think men, especially if you have a beard, I wonder how many hairs come out your beard.
A lot.
Yeah. Because everyone will go, well, my girlfriend clogs up the bathroom sink all the time because of long hair. But long hair is way easier to see. But beard hair, that's in the bathroom sink all the time.
Well, you can build a nest out of beard hair.
Yeah.
It's rugged.
Rugged.
It's rugged stuff.
It's coarser.
Certain men are going to disagree with you, but it does say specifically to say on average 100,000 hairs.
Alex, incorrect. I have about 10.
Kyrgios here. I didn't see you pop in, John. How you doing, man? Hope you're okay. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's have a look to see if anybody else right now is live who we want to send the audience to. Mr. the Hipster. Let us raid Mr. the Hipster. Okay. I'm going to try and do this more often as well and just pass on the...
That's a personal attack, loose.
It is. I've seen John. It is a personal attack. Mr. the Hipster. Save. All right, okay. So what I've done now, chat, is I've saved Mr. the Hipster as our forwarding channel. So I'm going to end the stream. I won't let the whole credits run through this time around because there's over 200 members to get through and I want to raid Mr. the Hipster. By the way, John, thank you for the 20. So what we're going to do is within about 4 or 5 minutes, if you hang on in chat, it's going to automatically dump you into Mr. the War Hipster's audience. And it was his birthday yesterday. It was his actual birthday yesterday. So... if you could at least just say happy birthday. Don't have to super chat it. You don't have to gift memberships because quite frankly at the moment you should just be putting that money in a PayPal link to me. Right? That's it. But we're going to raid Mr. the Hipster. That's it. Anything you want to add, Luce, before we go?
Nope.
You people are incredible. I'm going to go get a good night's sleep before I put up with a super excited Joe tomorrow who I'm going to have to stop from repeatedly turning the air conditioning on and off because he's going to be so excited about air conditioning. Ooh, I know what he's like. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.